I've told you that from time to time I get packages sent to me, and many times I have no idea what it's going to be, so I thought it might be fun to do an unboxing together and then review a product. The only hint that I have is this one says HandFan, and it's blue. Let's open it up. It actually looks like I have two different boxes, so we'll see what happens. That was some intense packaging. It took a bit of cutting just to get off. Yes, there are two boxes, and what I thought was blue is also black, so this must be the same product just two times. So let's set the black one aside and open up the blue one. I haven't even looked yet. I just started pulling it out of the box for the very first time, and what do we have? Well, a HandFan bottle. I never would have guessed that, but it looks pretty sweet. Man, this is totally in depth. The back here talks about the story of the invention, about the owner who got sick from drinking bad water and wanted to have some sort of a filter. So I guess this has a filter in it too, and a fan. Man, that is pretty impressive. Whew, that's nice. Oh, hey there. Welcome back to another Jeff Reviews for You. And as you saw, we are going to be looking at this bottle fan right here. Anyway, enough talking about this product. Let's get right into the review. Here's our HandFan bottle with Health Surpass. That's interesting. So must have the filter inside. I'm told this is a 20-ounce bottle. What I'm guessing is the fan is under here. I haven't taken that cap off yet, but what I do like is you have side access to a straw right here. If you want to shut that access off, you just twist the top a little bit and you can't open that. Pretty cool. I also have a different cap, I guess, if I don't want to carry the fan around with me. And then, of course, there's this little straw. I'm sorry, not a straw, but a brush to clean the straw. From what I understand is you're supposed to be able to just take this off. Oh, there's the fan. Very cool. Can I move it? I can. So we'll look forward to seeing if I have to charge this or how to make this work and such, but so far I think this is kind of a neat little product. I found the on-off button here for the fan. You're just supposed to click it and there's different levels between 25% all the way up to 100%. Mine, I think the battery is completely dead. They did include a USB-C charger, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug that in and let it charge. I do appreciate that this has a charging indicator light, and as it gets more and more charged, this light will glow 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. I do appreciate that kind of thing, so I know sort of how much charge the battery has. As this is charging, you have two different straws. One is just a typical straw, and the other straw has actually a filter inside. So you just pop this thing off. I'm just gonna wiggle it a little bit to get that out. And inside you're gonna see almost like a charcoal filter. Let's dump it out. Nope, it's not coming out. There we go. There we go. And there are replacement filters there, but this one just goes inside. I guess you can drink through it, and it's supposed to filter as you are drinking. We just fully charged this, and so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna run it on low. I will say, just with my hand in front of it, it feels like a nice breeze, and it goes about 2 feet away. I can feel this fan blowing at me, so that's not bad. If you're thinking about setting this on a desk or something, I think it's pretty comfortable. So let's check back in a little while to see how long this will last on low. I tell you what, I was not expecting this. I've now been running this for 12 hours, and you see we've only dropped one of our 4 battery life. I didn't expect this to last that long. I know the directions told me 15 hours, but look at that battery life still left. Pretty impressive. Even though at the 12-hour mark this looked like it was going to run forever, it actually shut off at the 15-hour mark on the button, or right around there. It was actually like 15 hours and 2 minutes. That's very impressive. I never thought this little fan would have lasted that long. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to charge it up again and see how long we can run it on high. There you have it. All 4 lights are lit up. That means we are fully charged. It took just about 4 hours to charge from empty to full. I was able to find this product on Amazon, and they tell us that it has a 2600 milliamp battery. Now that we are completely charged, we're going to turn this all the way up to high. So 3 clicks of the button. Wow, that is a nice breeze. We've been running on high now almost 5.5 hours, and you can see when it's right about to end, the last little light is just blinking. So it's only a matter of time before this shuts off. But I will say this has been running constant speed on high, 5.5 hours so far. Pretty impressive. Let's check back in when it goes out officially. Funny story, about 2 minutes after I did the 5.5 hour check-in, the battery went dead, and so that is it. So I'm gonna count that at about 5.5 hours, and that's actually pretty impressive for this little bottle to have that fan running on high for 5.5 hours. As I've been using this, I've learned a few things. Check this out. The fan is on. If I go and close it or lay it down flat, the fan will actually shut off. And if I pick it back up, the fan turns back on. Notice that it becomes really top heavy if you do not have any water in it. So make sure you always have water in it, especially if you have that fan attachment on the top. Also, even with the fan plugged in charging, it still works, so that's pretty convenient. If you run this down, you can plug it back in, and as it's charging, it'll still run. So, tell me, what are your thoughts of this HandFan bottle? Something you would use? Not so much? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. And now that we finished testing the battery, let's check out that filter. We actually found that the fan was pretty decent. It lasted a long time and we got a good breeze. Now I want to try to test the filter part. So what I did is I went down to the creek and I got some water. All right, so if you look at these 2 glasses of water, the one on my right is my control because this is bottled water, and you can see this one's sort of a yellowish tint from the creek. Now filters typically aren't supposed to take out color, but they are supposed to filter out contaminants. I don't have an elaborate system to test for contaminants, but I can test for other things like the solids that are within the water. So this is a TDS detector, and of course we are seeing we have 35 parts per million, which is actually not that bad. Let's look at the bottled water, and we're down to 18, much better. So we're gonna pour this water back into our bottle, set up the filter straw, and test it out. All right, so you see we have one of our charcoal filters in our straw. All right, so we're inserting our straw piece into the cap, and that's so the charcoal filter is now hooked into the straw, which is hooked into the side part where you will drink out of. Because mama didn't raise no fool, I've hooked up a manual transfer pump to almost serve as like drinking, right? So I'm gonna drink the water out through here and then up into the new cup. We're just gonna see what happens. Ready? Oh, there it goes. As you can see, the color did not change just like we thought, or maybe it did. I left a little bit in the bottle just to test that out, but let's see if our TDS has changed at all. Ooh, it's actually gone up. And you know what? That's probably because of the filter itself. So you might have to prime a filter sometimes. So let me run this through a few times. I did want to point out what we said earlier, that you cannot filter out color. This one right here is actually what went through the charcoal filter, and this one was what was left of the bottle. I'm going to leave this one separate just so you can see at the end that they're probably going to be similar. Now this one might actually get darker because sometimes when you use a charcoal filter, at least the first few times, you might get discoloration from the charcoal until it's really primed. I've now filtered this water 10 times through the water bottle's filter, and the funny thing is the TDS just kept going up and up. I think it's at 44 right now, where the original stayed at the same. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to try to do a water analysis test. So I picked up this kit from my local Lowe's, and we're going to try just to test the 2 different cups. We're going to try not to spill very much of this because I only have this water sample. All right, so we have the water in there, and we're going to test, I think, the chlorine, alkalinity, pH, nitrate, and the total hardness. You're supposed to just dip it for 2 seconds, pull it out, shake, and let's read our hardness, chlorine, and alkalinity. I guess also pH. We're actually reading the top 4. So it looks as though our hardness is okay. Our chlorine looks like it's okay. Alkalinity, we're looking like we're in the okay range. And then our pH maybe looks right about there. So everything is okay except for the pH is a little low. 30 seconds later, it looks like we're okay in the nitrates as well. Now we're going to test the filtered water. Hold it in there for 2 seconds. Get out and shake it. And let's check the test strips. I think we're in the okay range as well. Actually, you know what? It moved up a little bit in the alkalinity. And we'll wait 30 seconds or so for the nitrates. I think we stayed the same. Maybe we moved up a little bit here with the alkalinity to the center of the okay range. Now for the nitrates, we are both in the okay range there as well. So the top strip is our filtered water, the bottom strip is the original water, and you can see the only real difference is that green one, which means the alkalinity improved. Now we're going to test the copper level. I'm just supposed to swirl this around about 10 times, and then of course we'll remove the strip and wait about 15 seconds to check the copper level. After 15 seconds, you see the original water there, pre-filter, is pretty high and out of the okay range. Now for our filtered water, 10 swirls around, same thing. All right, now we're gonna wait our 15 seconds. All right, the proof is in the test. So the top strip failed from the pre-filtered water, and then we filtered it, and look, we actually moved into the safe range for the copper. Now we're testing for iron. We're immersing it for just a couple of seconds. We're going to shake it off lightly to remove any excess water. Now we're going to wait 60 seconds to compare it to the chart. While we are waiting that test to finish, we are going to do the filtered water and set that aside for 60 seconds. We are not in the OK range on either. We're just above the OK range, and they both look exactly the same. That is all the tests that we're going to do for testing the water, and so you have to ask yourself the question, did it make an improvement pre-filtered to filtered water? And the answer is yes. You saw the alkalinity level improved, then also the copper level improved, and that's pretty important. In this video, we are looking at the HandFan bottle with Health Surpass, and that Health Surpass part is really just that filtered straw. So what did I think of it? First things first, let's talk about price. I found this on Amazon, and the blue one retails for $70, and the black one, which is exactly the same, just a different color, retails for $40. Initially, I was taken back by that price. Well, then I started using the product, and I was blown away. No pun intended. I was really impressed with the fan, the speed, the length of battery on this little tiny bottle. I did not think it was going to last nearly as long as it did. And then we tested out the filter, and I thought, man, this is sure a gimmick, but you know what? It kind of worked too. I wasn't going to drink the dirty water, but it definitely cleaned it up a little bit, as we saw from our tests. There were a few cons. I did not like how top heavy it got with the fan on the top. The bottle just fell over if it was empty, so that's something that maybe in future generations they can put some sort of a base on to keep it solid, but that was a concern for me because it kept toppling over. Some people on Amazon did not like that slide out straw from the side. In my opinion, I didn't have a problem with it, but other people did express concern with the weird design, as they said. In the end, I like the idea of this product, and it's cool to have it on my desk for that extra breeze if I were to need it. If this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. All right, the fan is on low. Let's bring our bubbles up. Anything? I think it wants to do bubbles, but it won't. All right. It was very disappointing on low speed. Let's check the medium speed. Oh, much better. We definitely have some bubbles coming off this time. We did so good on medium. I know what high is going to look like. That is super cool. Definitely able to whip out those bubbles. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of this HandFan bottle. You know what's funny? This is not the first bottle that I reviewed a long time ago. I actually compared 3 different popular bottles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to link that right up here. And I would love it if you would click on this link. And when you do, by the magic of it, I'm going to join you at that review. So go ahead, click it. It's safe, I promise.